Now, first aid kits come in lots of shapes and sizes. There are ones in plastic boxes, in pouches, larger kits, ones for special markets. In this case here is one for the marine market, even pet first aid kits. And these could be small kits like this, or backpacks and emergency rescue kits and things like that. But the basic contents of a first aid kit, at its basic level, is exactly the same. So what is in this kit and these kits are very, very similar. So what we're going to do is have just a quick look at the sorts of items that you'll find in a first aid kit. So this particular one here, this is a workplace kit, but it's just to show you what it actually looks like. When you open up the kits, at some point you'll have some kind of contents of what's actually in it. So this just tells you what's in the kit, so you can cross-reference what's in the kit with what should be in the kit to make sure there's everything there. And you know, this is workplace in things, but if you had this at home or you were working in outdoor pursuits or whatever, you'd have a very similar kit. You may want to add a few extra items. If you're in the sports world, you might want to put some crate bandage in, some ice packs, but you know, the basic contents are the same. So always towards the top of the first aid kits, you've got gloves. So in this example here, we have 6 pairs of gloves. Might seem a lot, but gloves are really important to protect yourself against infection. So having gloves, and if you're changing from casualty 1 to casualty 2, then you need to change your gloves. So it wouldn't take long to get through these. Or if there's other people helping you, you've got gloves to give them as well. Other things in the kits are things like foil blankets. It's really important to keep someone warm. This can help maintain their body temperature. Just wrap them around in this. You can also put coats and things like that on them as well. If there is a case of severe bleeding, again, that could be help as well, because if someone's cold, their clotting process starts to break down. So we want to keep them nice and warm. Also in kits, you normally have plasters in different shapes or sizes. So there's fabric plasters, there's waterproof plasters, lots of different types, but generally speaking, you do need to have plasters. Some first aid kits will have plasters separately as well. If it's an area where people cut themselves regularly, you don't want people opening up with blood on their fingers to take a plaster out. You have a separate kit that they can easily just pull out one nice and safely. Other things in there are triangular bandages. These are used to make a sling, but you can also use some other things or use it for padding. There's lots of little uses. There's 2 main types. This one is quite a cheap fabric type material, which can easily tear, whereas the material type are a lot stronger. They're not a lot more money, but they're a better one to have if you can, because you can even use those for improvised tourniquets. Other things in here, things like conforming bandage, which is just a small bandage should you need to hold something in place, and could be used for holding cling film over a burn, for example, or just supporting a dressing. You have Micropore tape. This is good to hold gauze pads in place. This is also good if you have an improvised splint you would want to fracture, because you can put maybe a magazine around someone's arm and take that on. But it's very useful also for holding on dressings. And here we've got some finger dressings. This is just a simple dressing, and again you can use the Micropore tape to hold those in place as well. Most kits would have some kind of first aid advice card in them. This is a generic one. Some of our more specialist kits, we have a different type of one which is aimed at the particular market it's going to. And a lot of ours would have a QR code, so you can also see access to training as well, should you need that. You'll also have some dressings. These are medium, what they call medium dressings. There's also large dressings in here as well. And these are the sorts of dressings that you would have with a gauze pad and a bandage. So on other videos, we show how to use these, but these are a very, very good starting dressing. So to cover over a wound and secure it and keep it nice and clean and protected. Other things are wipes. You want to keep clean. The wipes are good for cleaning up any blood. If you've got drips of blood, it's very good, because if someone is covered in blood, getting them clean makes them a lot more comfortable, because dried blood on your skin is not nice, doesn't look nice, and also it can be just a little bit uncomfortable. So you can use those for that. You can also use them for cleaning yourself up should you need to, just by wiping in your hands. Other things in here are burn gel dressings. This is a gel foam, which is like a liquid gel on it. It's very good for cooling burns. But that said, the best thing for burns is running them under cold water for 20 minutes. But if you haven't had any access to cold water, this is a good compromise for it. Also got resuscitation shields. So you have to do mouth resuscitation on somebody. It's an easy barrier to protect yourself between you and them. And then we've got some scissors. So if you need to cut away clothing, cut dressings, and these are the blunt type scissors, so they're nice and easy to use. So that's sort of all the main things inside a first aid kit. This is the BSI workplace kit, and it's a good starting block if you want to buy a kit. It's a good one to have because it's got quite a lot of stuff in it. But there are more specialist kits. This particular one here is a smaller kit, and this is just aimed at burns. So it also has these Steripods in, which is an easy way of carrying small amounts of saline. These are a good thing to add to your kits because you can literally snap the top off and squirt water onto a wound that you know is clean because it's come out of one of these. But this is a kit that is just aimed at primarily in burns. So, if you're choosing a first aid kit, pick one that does what you want it to. Have the contents enough to deal with any emergency you're likely to come across. Have a think about what sorts of setting you're in to see what the best type of one is. And then, is there any regulatory reason why you need a particular type? For example, the BSI is a workplace one. There's also a paediatric kit if you're running a childcare setting. But there are all sorts of other versions of these kits for particular markets. And there are regulatory requirements in the marine world with those kits. And maybe in sports world, you're going to need other things. So have a think about the kit you want, the bag you want to put it in, and choose the right one. If you need any advice on buying first aid kits, just get in touch with us.